Andrea Miller is going to talk about his ERA, as well as, I believe, her mass incarceration. We're all yours, Andrea. Welcome.
Thank you, Tim, and greetings to everybody out in the world of PDA. I'm going to first talk about the Equal Rights Amendment through State Strategy Group, where I'm one of the co-chairs, so I certainly want to thank the incredible people that I work with and talk about what we're going to be doing all the way in September. In September, it is our goal to have 200 people on our bill in the House. We are going to be bringing women to Washington, D.C. for our We Are Women Constitution Day rally, honoring our past and fulfilling our destiny. Now, September 13th is a Saturday, so we're going to be having our rally on Saturday, and the Friday before is going to be a very big Educate Congress Day, where we are hoping that all the women that have come out to DC for this rally are going to join us when we go and visit the halls of Congress and make sure that we get those last stragglers signed onto the Equal Rights Amendment bill that removes the ratification deadline. There's a real issue here of simple math. 35 is more than 0. So it is not our desire to start over. It is our desire to pick up with what we already have and take this as far as we possibly can, so that if simply by removing the deadline, which is not in the amendment, allows us to simply go back and get 3 states, this is what we want to do. Now, while I sit here today in the halls of Congress, there are women that are out walking the halls in their state house, because remember, we still need 3 more states to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. The Commonwealth of Virginia is the first of those states that brought legislation this year. So right now, there are people that are in the General Assembly in Virginia. There will be a bill brought in Florida, Illinois, Louisiana has a bill. We have a bill in Missouri. North Carolina is considering a bill. Arkansas is probably bringing a bill this year again. Nevada will not be able to bring a bill this year because of the way their sessions work, so they are looking at the possibility of bringing a bill in the following year. But we now have 9 states that are bringing legislation, and several of these states have not brought legislation in more than a decade. So we are seriously looking at dealing with and finally resolving the #1 issue for women, which is not our reproductive parts, which is probably going to be a shock to a number of lawmakers on the other side of the aisle. But the #1 issue for women is actually economic security. And right now, without the Equal Rights Amendment, we do not have a reliable path to economic security. As one of the people who, as Alex so wonderfully and graphically said, is among the old, the organized, and the outraged, I think everyone will join me when you look at the basic economic facts under which women in America still operate. So when we look at workers' pay, when we look at pay equity, for every dollar that a man earns, a woman, if she's white, earns 77 cents. If she's African American, she earns 65 cents. If she is Hispanic, she earns 55 cents. So not only are we talking a tremendous differential in pay equity, we are also looking at a racial issue that we must resolve in this country. So I'd like to invite everybody to join us. Again, this will be on September 13th for Celebrate, Educate, Inspire, and Connect, Women Constitution Day rally, and then also join us on Friday. We are working not only to ratify the ERA, but as Congressman Pocan and Ellison mentioned, we are also going to be working to protect voting rights. Because even though the only constitutional right that has ever been granted to women is the right to vote, as we have found in the previous elections, that is also under attack. So may I leave you with one last reminder, and that is your liberty is bound up with mine. Whatever I don't have, you stand to lose. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea.